Good evening, all of you. Am I audible to everyone? Please respond. Can you all hear me? So, in today's session, we are going to discuss that 2015 decision-making section. In all, there are 23 questions which was asked in that particular year. Alright. So, you have got a total of 23 questions. So, for these 23 questions, I am giving you 55 minutes, alright, which is more than sufficient. So right now the time is going to be 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock to 9:55. Then 5 minutes for poll, and then we'll start with the discussion. Okay. So your time starts now, 9 o'clock to 9:55. And I'll mute myself for the next 55 minutes, and then we'll be having a poll and we'll start with the discussion. Please check whether you all have got the privileges to go through the PPTs. Yes. So you all can start now. Please start. Am I audible to all of you now? Please respond. Can we start with the discussion? So now let's start with the discussion. Okay, so let's start with the first question. Set of 3 questions. Let's discuss this. It says, Mr. Dipanshu Barua, a young IT professional, came early to office to assist his boss in the preparation for an important client presentation. Okay, when he switched on his computer, he saw an email from Mr. Patel. The email was as follows. Dear Mr. Barua, this email serves as a follow-up of my conversation with you on this December 1, 2014. I have already conveyed need for improvement in your behavior as desired by your project leader and colleagues. Okay. So let's go ahead. Convey need for improvement in your behavior as desired by your project leader and colleagues. They are yet to notice any visible improvement. I am apprehensive that your failure to act may warrant further action leading to dismissal. I will continue to monitor and assess your performance over the next 3 months. Your performance over the next 3 months to determine whether improvement meets the expectation. At the same time, I would like to reaffirm that you are valuable for our organization and A. Patel status. So let's start with the question number 1. Initially, the email distracted Dipanshu, but he decided to focus on the job. Which of the following option might best explain his decision to do so? Okay. Now, what can be the problem here? Can you say whatever the problem here is, that the problem, okay, it may be because of the Dipanshu himself, yes or no? Okay, maybe the problem with the Dipanshu himself, or maybe because of the team in which he is working. The team members are not ready to work with him, not ready to cooperate with him. These are the 2 issues which might be possible here. Okay, is that clear? ये 2 problem हो सकती है. So let's try to identify. It says, which of the following option might best explain his decision to do so? What I can see from the screen here is that 68% of you have mine. 68% of you have marked option number E, which is definitely correct. Correct answer for this question is, of course, option number 9. Now, let's discuss the other option which 2 people have marked. Some of you have marked option number 1 also. Mr. Patel would soon be transferred to another department. Now, remember one thing, the issue which is here, okay? Because when he said that he needs to improvement, he needs for the improvement in his behavior as desired by your project leader and colleagues. Okay, so colleagues, when you are talking about the project leader and the colleagues, so the issue might be either with the team members or he with the himself also. So here I can say if he is transferred to other department. So can I say the transfer will again not going to solve the problem? Because in that case, even if he is transferred to the other department, the next XAT director would probably will do the follow-up whether he's fit in the other departments or also, whether he's getting anything from the other departments also. So that's why the option number 1 can't be the answer. Is that clear to all of you? Any doubts to anyone? Okay. All right. Now, next point here is last week, Mr. Dipanshu has been assigned to a new team in the same project. Some of you, around 8% of you have marked this. Last week, Mr. Dipanshu has been assigned to a new team in the project. Okay. Now, like we discussed, the problem may be with the Dipanshu or because of him. So, if the problem is with the team, the team के साथ problem is not able to do this one. So, even if he has been going to assign to the new team, okay, it might get resolved on a new team. हो सकता है? Yes or no? Because if initially he has a problem with the team, so if he is getting a new team, okay, so it might be possible that the problem is getting resolved. But what is the problem is with the himself? So in that case, even if he is going to assign to the new team, the problem will still exist. So that's why the answer can't be option number 2. Is that clear to all of you? Please tell me yes or no. Okay. Question number 3. Option C. Some of you had marked option. 3 days back, Mr. Dipanshu has been assigned a new project similar to his final engineering project. Now, change in the project, if the project is changed, it's not necessary that his team is also going to be changed. So that's why the problem may not get solved in that case. So that's why the answer can be option number 3. And option number 4 is basically it is totally unrelated to the argument here. So answer can be option number 4. So the best option for us is option number 5. Any doubts to anyone now? Please tell me. Can I move to the next question? For question number 2, let's see. Let me read. The scheduled presentation went off smoothly. Back in his cabin, Dipanshu read Mr. Patel's email once more and pondered over it. During the last meeting, he tried hard to put forward his explanation. Now, he tried hard to put forward his explanation, but Mr. Patel had not allowed him to speak. Dipanshu was thinking of a meeting with Mr. Patel once again, but was doubtful that would help. Incidentally, he had a job offer from a startup with a comparable salary. Okay, comparable salary. If Dipanshu was to join the new job, he had to accept the offer within the next 2 weeks. However, he cannot think of a life without a job. Dipanshu was confused. Which of the following options was the best move for Dipanshu? So let me see. Most of you had marked the answer for this question number 2 as option number 1. Okay, option number 1. 60% of you had marked option number 1. Okay, and around 24%, 16% of you had marked this one, 4% of you had marked this one, and 0 and 0. Okay. Now, in this case, try to understand this thing here. He has already tried to put his explanation to Mr. Patel, but he had not allowed him to speak. And he was thinking of meeting again, but he was quite doubtful that he would help. So, which of the following option would be the best move for Dipanshu? Now, remember that Mr. Patel is not interested to talk to him as already given here. DK is not interested in talking here. So, talking to Mr. Patel and highlight the initiatives he has been taken, but at the same time start applying for the other jobs. So, in that case, it might be a problem that it will not solve the decision. Okay? And it says second option says reject the offer from the startup, leave the next 3 months to find a better job, but continue to the present. So if you delete the first line, like talk to Mr. Patel and highlight the initiative he has taken. Okay? If you after the but at the same time start applying for other jobs. So if I remove this first line, because in that case, if he is not able to talk to this one, so the first and second options will from the same thing. So the answer can't be option number 1 because he had already tried in the past to talk to him and to explain this, but he has never allowed him to speak. So this thing is not going to help him again. Reject the offer from the startup. Okay, and use the next 3 months. Now, rejecting the offer from the startup and then using the next 3 months, but what's the guarantee that he can get a better job in the next 3 months? There is no guarantee because there will be a lot of uncertainty here and there is no surety of getting a new job also. So I can say this can't be the option. Resign from the organization right now. Now, resigning from the organization right now without having anything in your hand with no job, that doesn't make any sense. So probably this can't be the answer. Now, among fourth and fifth, it says accept the offer only if the startup gives a salary hike. Else keep prospecting. Now, the problem here is that you are saying that accept the offer only if the startup gives up a salary. Now, startup is already ready for the comparable salary. Okay. If you are thinking in this one case, okay, if the startup is not going to give a salary hike, then can you say in that case it would be same as the option number 2? Because if the startup doesn't ready for the salary hike, so it means basically you have rejected the offer. And once you have rejected the offer, then you are going to do what? You are going to again search for the salary and everything. And whereas this is accept the offer with a request to give it. You are requesting to give him a salary. Now you are already the comparable salary. And in that case, again, if your request is granted, in that case you can get a 10% salary. So the better course of action, the best move for the Dipanshu in this case is nothing but option number 5. He has got 2 weeks, but it has been already given in the package that Mr. Patel has not allowed him to speak in the past. Then what's the guarantee that Mr. Patel is going to talk to him? There is no guarantee. He has already tried so many times in the past to already. So there is no guarantee that again Mr. Patel is. It simply means that Mr. Patel is not interested to talking to him because he has not allowed him to speak. Better way is option number 5. Okay. So any doubts to anyone? Can I move to the next question? All right. Let's move here. Question number 3. After a couple of weeks, Mr. Patel came to know. Mr. Patel came to know Dipanshu project leader, Mr. John, a very competent senior executive, may have willfully influenced his team members to file a wrong complaint against Dipanshu. Mr. John may have done it because Dipanshu was refused to do things, right? Mr. Patel also came to know that Dipanshu was thinking of quitting the job. He felt regretful about his letter to Dipanshu. He wanted to resolve the complicated situation. He was contemplating following 5 actions in his mind. The first option is talk to Mr. John about Dipanshu and convey to him that losing a bright employee could cost the dearly. Catch up with Mr. John during a coffee break and convey that Dipanshu has a very good track record. So basically, if you look at here, can you say first and second, both of them are more or less talking about the same thing? Yes or no? Okay. Third, chat with Dipanshu during the break. Catch up with Dipanshu during coffee break and convey that the organization values him. Again, among 3 and 4, both of them are basically one or the same thing more or less. And fifth, arrange a meeting about Mr. John Dipanshu and himself to sort out the issues. So I think, in my opinion, ये तो fifth तो definitely I should include fifth. Yes or no? Fifth is must. ठीक है. That talking, having a meeting with all the aggrieved party and discussing everything in detail. ठीक है. And among these 2, I could take one of them, and among statement number 3 and 4, one of these statements should be there. So anyway, I can straight away reject option number 3. Okay, reject option number 3. So like I told you, among 1 and 2, one of them should be there. Among 3 and 4, one of them should be there. Okay. So in this case, 3 and 4 both are there in option number 5, so I can reject this one. Among 1, 3 and 5, 2, 3, and now 1, 4 and 5. So which is the better option? Let me see the result here. Most of you said 68% of you had marked option number 4. 68% of you had marked option number 4. And I think that is the correct answer. Yes, that's the correct answer. Taken 1, 4 and 5. 5 in any case I need to include 3 and 4. If you look at here, among 3 and 4, 4 is the better choice. Okay, because here you are having a coffee break and convey that the organization valuation. So 4 is the better choice, and among 1 and 2, 1 is the better. So I should go with the option number 4, which most of you have got it right. Any doubts to anyone in any other option? Please tell me. Can I move to the next question? Is the session getting recorded? Okay. Now let's go for question number. Next set of 30 questions. Question number Very simple one. MBA entrance examination comprises two types of the problem: formula-based problems and application-based problems. From the analysis of past data, existing School of Management observes that students good at solving application-based problems are entrepreneurial in nature. Coaching Institute for MBA entrance exams train them to spot formula-based problems and answer them correctly so as to obtain the required overall cutoff percentage. Thus, students in general shy away from the application-based formula, and even those with the entrepreneurial mindset target formula-based. Half of a mark is deducted for every. Fourth, question number 4. ISM wants, it says ISM wants move with the entrepreneurial mindset in the next slide. Achieve this, ISM is considered following. Okay. Preparing a question paper of two parts, part A and part B of duration 1 hour each. Part A and B would consist of a formula-based formula, application-based formula, respectively. After taking away part A, part B would be distributed. The qualifying cutoff percentile would be calculated on the combined score of part. So basically, there is a time limit on both of them. So all those people who are completely focusing on the formula-based problems now, they need to focus on the application-based problems also. Okay. Now, further it says, preparing a question paper comprising part A and part B. While part A would comprise formula-based problem, part B would comprise application-based problem, each having a separate qualifying cutoff. Okay, that's it. Here the cutoff is calculated on the combined score of 2. So combined score of 2. So can I say it is quite possible if you are getting a combined score of the two parts? It might be possible that people are able to score very good in part A and not in the part B. So in that case, you will not get a people with the entrepreneurial mindset. Yes or no? So, but in this case, cutoff is different. Third, assigning 1 mark for a formula-based problem and 2 marks for application-based problems as an incentive. Okay, again, people will focus on application-based here. Here also, people will focus on application-based. Fourth, allotting 1 mark for formula-based problems and 3 marks for application-based problems without mentioning this in the question paper. Now, not mentioning anything in the question paper, do you think it should be done? No. ये तो totally unethical भी हो गया एक तरह से. ठीक है, it is not clear to the students because the students have no idea about the evaluation process. So this should not be done ideally. ठीक है. So among 1, 2, and 3, and since there are only two of the options are selected, so I think, in my opinion, the best way is nothing but that is 2 and 3, the combination of 2 and 3, and the combination of 2 and 3 is given in option number 4. ठीक है. So the best course of action is nothing but here option number 4, which in my opinion, I think how many of you have got it right? 48% of you have got it right. Is that clear to all of you? 4, ठीक है. The combination of 2 and 4 are 2 and 3 is sorry the best one. ठीक है, because in that case there is a different cutoff for each of these segments. थर्ड का क्या सिग्निफिकेंस है? थर्ड का सिग्निफिकेंस ये है बिकॉज assigning 1 mark for a formula based because you can score more marks for application based problems as an incentive for attempting. So people will, okay, if there is a 2 marker question, if there is a 1 marker question, so people will think for attempting more and more questions of application based problems. So in that case, you can find out the right kind of the people, those who are actually willing to solve a question based on the application based. Okay. Formula तो सब लोग ही करते हैं. So the combination of these two is better. Can I move to the next question? ठीक है, because what happens in the proposal number 2 is what is try to understand. ठीक है, there is a different cutoff percentile, that's perfectly okay, but still in that case people will try to score maximize their marks in the part A, not in part B. In extreme cases, in extreme cases, it might be possible that people will attempt very low, very few questions from the application-based problems. But in that case, if the weightage of that particular is more, so people will tend to think. So that's why the combination of 2 and 3 is better. My point, Subhashish. Question number 5. 5 says, ISN conducts a common entrance examination every year. This year, the question paper would comprise 60 questions with an equal mix of formula-based and application-based. All questions should carry equal marks. Balaji is appearing for the exam. Before appearing for the examination, he gets the following information from coaching. Application-oriented problems take more time to solve it in examination hall. Chances of silly mistake would be low in application-based problem. ISM would assist the students with back loan to start a new venture. Options are generally confusing. Practice makes a man perfect, and students can get this. Based on above information, which of the following options would help him to better prepare for the exam? Now, he is preparing for the exam. Okay, he is preparing for the exam. So, statement number 6, students get very good campus. And statement number 3, that is completely out of scope because that is after the exam. I need to think. See that these two statements, statement number 3 and 6, is totally unrelated with the preparation for the examination. Is that clear to all of you? Statement number 2 and 6 is completely unrelated. So I can eliminate option 1, option 2, option number 3, and option number 4. So the correct answer is, of course, option number 5. And 60% of you have got it right. 60% of you have got it right. So the answer is option number 5. Any doubts to anyone in this question? Can I move to the next question? Okay. Sorry, just give me a minute. Sixth, a very single question. Let's see here. Again, here is a completely mixed reaction, so it means it's a confusing question. Maybe 16% of you had marked option number 2. Okay, 16% of you had marked option number 3. 20% you had marked this one. 28% of you had marked this one. 0% and this, and 24% of you. Okay, let's see the result. It says Innovative Institute of Business has decided to be a first green campus in India. Green campus in India. Okay. IIB administration. Okay. IIB administration has advised all campus residents to reduce carbon footprints. Okay. IIB faculty members did a brainstorming and came up with a few suggestions. And there are 5 suggestions. Okay. Came up with the following suggestions. Have advised all campus residents to reduce carbon footprints. Which of the following option would be most preferred sequence of action to reduce carbon footprints on campus? Carbon footprints on campus. Okay, preferred sequence of action. Okay. So, do be correct answer only. They should have a correct logical sequence as well as reduce the actual carbon footprint. So, all of them must form a proper sequence, and they should be able to reduce the carbon footprint. Now, remember one thing, to have a maximum impact among all the residents and everything, okay? First of all, we need to make a proper plan and what actions, okay? We need to make a proper plan, we need to make a proper changes and actions, everything, okay? So, for that particular reason, I think we should include, okay, which is organizing a seminar. Yes or no? The third one, करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए? या उससे भी better है, instead of this here, just a minute, let me read it. Replace electric source for the street lights with the solar panels. Okay. Replacing the existing buildings with the environment-friendly buildings. Okay. And then it says organizing a seminar on towards substantial future involving all staff. This one. Introducing a compulsory course on sustainability to increase awareness among students. Okay. Conducting an initial energy audit to explore IIB can reduce carbon footprints. So I think, in my opinion, okay, the first course of action which you should do, that should be statement number 5, not statement number 2, but statement number 5. Okay. Conducting an initial energy to explore where IIB can reduce carbon footprint. If they are reduce footprint in the campus. So first of all, they should have something that where in this particular area I need to explore that from where I can reduce the carbon footprint in our campus. So 5th should come in the first. Okay. 5th should come in the first. So 5th should come in the first year. So the answer is option number A and B. it can't be the answer. Is that clear to all of you? That fifth should come in the first. Okay, now from the suggestion phase 5 here, then I need to find out the logical flow. Now 1 and 3, among 1 and 3, okay, among 1 and 3, if I look at here, like in option number 4, this is 1 and 3, here it is 3 and 1 and 1 and 2. So in any case, 1 has to be included in the 3 options. Okay, but I just need to select the sequence, in which sequence I should select here. Okay. So if you look at 3, it says organizing a seminar on towards a sustainable futures involving all students here from across the country. So organizing a seminar. Okay. Okay, okay. But I'm replacing the existing building with the environmental friendly building. So sorry, replacing electrical source for street lights with the solar panels. So among 1 and 3, which should come first? Please tell me. Okay, among 1 and 3, okay. Of course, 1 should come first because organizing a seminar that is not going to reduce the carbon footprint in here in the campus, but it is basically spreading the awareness about this thing here throughout here. But among 1 and 3, so 1 should come first. Okay. So I can reject one more option. Okay. 8 minutes, just wait. One and 2, we are now 8 minutes. 1 is there and 3 is there. So among 1 and 3, tell me which should come first? Whether 3 should come first or 4 should come first? 3. I think 3 should come first. Okay, 3 should come first. So 3 should come first. So the answer can't be option number 4. अब मेरे पास 5, 1 and 2 है, and 5, 3 and 1 है. So this is also correct sequence. Okay, that first will conduct an initial energy audit to explore where IIB can reduce carbon footprints. Then organize a seminar on towards a sustainable future involving all students, staffs, and experts from around the country, and then replace electricity source for state. But if I go for 5, 1 and 2, conduct an initial energy audit to explore where IIB can reduce carbon footprints. Then 1, replace electricity source for street lights. And then second, replacing the existing buildings with the environmental friendly buildings. Okay. So that is also a correct sequence, logical sequence. But I think in my opinion, since it is talking about I need to reduce the footprints in the campus, so the better way is nothing but the correct answer should be what? Tell me. Campus के बारे में बात कर रही है, so organizing a seminar, okay, is it needed here? Is it going to benefit? No. Okay, it's not going to benefit to reduce the carbon footprint in the campus here. Okay, I need to reduce the maximum amount of the carbon footprint. So the answer should be option number 3. Is that clear to all of you? Please tell me yes or no. Because organizing a seminar across the country, there is no benefit. There is no reduction of the carbon footprint. So the answer should be 5, 1 and 2. Can I move to the next question? So this was a difficult question. क्यों नहीं होगा feasible? Slowly and slowly. That's why we talk about a possible preferred sequence of actions. Yes, it is quite feasible to replace the buildings. ठीक है, मुझे कार्बन फुटप्रिंट को कम करना है सिद्धांत. तो कार्बन फुटप्रिंट केवल सेमिनार करने से, only by organizing a seminar the carbon footprint will reduce, or by replacing the existing building with the environmental friendly building that it will reduce. I need to reduce the carbon footprint. Just focus on the question. It will be happen at the very big scale, but how does that matter? They will do that, na? I need to reduce the carbon footprint. ठीक है ना? So I need to reduce the carbon footprint. That is important here. Why not it is practical? Yeah. क्यों नहीं है practical? It's very much impractical. They can start replacing building one by one. They can probably, first of all, they will prepare one environment-friendly building. They will shift one building to the person who are resident of that building to another building, and they can replace. So 2 is very much possible. And remember one thing, अरे तो उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Does this anywhere it has been given that they don't have the time and they don't have the cost? What is the question here? Try to understand the question. That question is that to reduce the carbon footprint on the campus. So how the organizing the seminar can reduce the carbon footprint? Batao. Whether organizing a seminar will going to reduce the carbon footprint or by replacing the existing building with the environment friendly building is going to reduce the carbon footprint. Tell me. किससे carbon footprint कम होगा? So why are you making an assumption that time होगा, cost ज़्यादा होगा, इससे क्या होगा? Does this passage anywhere it has talked about the time or about the cost? No. Like for example, Indian government has decided that by 2030 that okay all the motor vehicles should be electrical. Though we know that it's a very time consuming, it is very cost effective, but they wanted to reduce the carbon footprint, so that's why this step has been taken. Yes or no? And yesterday, a few days back, I think yesterday only one of the, I do not know whether he was a manager or chairperson of the Mercedes said that it is not possible because later on in the future is of the hydrogen-based car, not a electrical car. So this should be. So anyway, I hope that it is clear. Can I move to the questions now? For the next set of the questions. So 7 to 10. Now 7 to 10, it says, the Disciplinary Committee of National Political Party, NPP, is meeting today to decide on the future of 2 of their party members. And their party members are Mr. Loyal and his son, Mr. Prodigal. Mr. Prodigal is the prime accused in a brutal murder. Now remember, he is simply accused in the brutal murder of Mr. Victim and opposition party leader. Mr. Prodigal is in police custody and his appeal for bail has got rejected. Mr. Loyal claims that his son is innocent and Mr. Victim's death was the result of internal rivalry in the opposition party. Though Mr. Loyal is not accused in the case, his weakness for his son is well known. The media is blaming him for his influencing key witness to protect his son. Severe criticism of his father-son duel, both by media and some social activities, is damaging the image of the party. However, Mr. Loyal has significant followers within the party and is considered as an asset to the party. Any harsh decision against Mr. Loyal could adversely affect the future of NPP and could even lead to split in the party. This would benefit the party. Okay, let's come to the question. Question number 7. Which of the following would adversely affect both NPP and Mr. Loyal? Okay, which is affecting to both of them. Okay. Let me see the result here. For question number 7, majority of you, 64% of you had marked option number C. Okay. 64% of you had marked option number C. Okay. The question says it is going to adversely affect one thing. Now, so when you say option number 3, expel Mr. Loyal from the party with the immediate effect. Okay. Yeah, so that's the correct answer. In fact, most of you have got it right. Now, what will happen if you are expelling Mr. Loyal from the party? Now, remember, if the moment you expel Mr. Loyal from the party, okay, so in that case, first of all, remember one thing: expelling Mr. Loyal for something which he has not done. Now, remember, his son is involved. Okay, so Mr. Prodigal has done something which is unfair. Okay, and remember, his charges has not been proved. He has simply accused. So, if you are trying to expel Mr. Loyal from the party, okay, so I think you are going to take an action against him. If you are going to take some action against him, so it might lead to a split within the party, as given in the last paragraph, and could even lead to a split in the party. And if the party is splitted, then it is not going to be beneficial for NPP as well as Mr. Loyal. So that's right. The correct answer is of course this one. Some of you had marked other options also. So let me take no against Mr. Loyal. Okay. So if you are not taking any action against the Mr. Loyal, so it is going to definitely affect the party negatively. But okay, it is good for Loyal. So it is good. The first option is good for the Loyal, but not for the party. So basically, you need to select an option which is going to affect both of them. So that's why answer can't be one. Suspend Mr. Prodigal from the party with the immediate effect. Okay? So in that case, if the party is suspending Mr. Prodigal, so it might be good for the party, but not for Mr. Loyal, because he is going to be adversely affected because he is very, very attached to his son. Okay? He has a very soft corner for the son, so this can't be the answer. Fourth, ban Mr. Loyal from entering party premises till completion of the court proceedings. Okay, so in that case, it is going to be benefit for the NPP. It is going to benefit for the NPP, but it is going to adversely affect Loyal. So this is affecting only Mr. Loyal, not to the party adversely. And initiate an internal inquiry to find the truth. So initiate an internal inquiry to find the truth. It is not going to impact neither party nor to Mr. Loyal. किसी को भी impact नहीं करेगा. Because in any case, the court is going to take a judgment. So that's why the best option is option number 3. Any doubts to anyone? किसी भी options में है? Can I move to the next question? Question number 8. At the disciplinary committee meeting, members came up with the following suggestion. Which of the following suggestions would harm the party? So the question is going to harm the party the least. So what I can see here, 4% of you have marked this one, option number 2. Okay. 32% you have marked option number 3. 48% you have marked option number this, and then 0% and rest of you 20% of you have marked. I think the answer for this is, of course, I'll go with the majority. That is option number 4. Okay. Suspend Mr. Prodigal from the party with immediate effect. Okay. But now, yes, but announce that he will be taken back if the court declares him innocent. So in that case, it is quite beneficial for both of them. It is going to affect the list. Some of you might that initiate an internal inquiry to find out the truth. Option number C. Okay. So initiating an internal inquiry would not help the party to improve its image. Remember, okay, it is not going to improve its image. ठीक है, which is the main concern as given in the passage itself, that your image party की खराब है. Again, this internal inquiry committee is not going to make us any sense because the case is in the court. So initiate internal inquiry, how the internal inquiry is going to help? Not at all. So that's why the answer should be option number 4. In any other options you had a doubt, please discuss with me. Because expelling Mr. Prodigal, it's going to expelling or यहाँ पे क्यों suspend है? So it's better that since he's accused, so it's better to suspend him. Okay. Because if you are going to expel, then you know what is going to happen. Because Mr. Loyal is very, he has got a soft corner for this son. So there can be a split in the party. 9th, Mr. Opportunist, a veteran member of NPP. Okay, NPP. Stakes his claims to be nominated as NPP candidate in the upcoming. Mr. Opportunity presented the following arguments in favor of his candidature. Which of the following combinations would best strengthen the claim of Mr. Opportunity? Okay. Let's discuss the answer of this question. 68% of you had marked option number 2. So 68% of you had marked option number 2, which is a correct answer. That's great. Easy time. Let's see. It says Mr. Loyal candidated in the upcoming election will adversely impact NPP chances. Hence, the party should nominate him. Remember, he needs to prove he needs to strengthen the claim of Mr. Opportunity. That why Mr. Opportunity should be given a chance. Okay, why he should be nominated in place of this one. So option number 1 is totally against him. Okay, just a minute. Okay, not an. The party should not nominate him. Yes. So party should not nominate him. So this is against Mr. Loyal. Okay. Statement number 2. The party should call a press conference to disown Mr. Loyal. This would enhance the party's image. Okay. That is again, it is against Mr. Loyal. Okay. Third, the party would not be able to take any disciplinary against Mr. Loyal if he gets re-elected. If he gets re-elected. Third, again it is against Mr. Loyal. And fourth and fifth, it says, okay, fourth and fifth, just wait. Fourth and fifth, statement number 4 says, I have a lot of goodwill and significant followers in the constituency. None of my close relatives are into active politics. So basically, you can say 4 and 5, they are in favor of Mr. Opportunist. Okay. Option number B is the correct answer. 1 and 4. 4 says I have a lot. Yes. Fourth, I have a lot of goodwill and significant followers in the constituency. So it is in favor of Mr. Opportunist. Yes or no? Because if I have a very good follower, then definitely party should give me the vote. As well as the first one, Mr. Loyal candidature in the upcoming election with adverse impact. So party के chances बहुत कम होंगे in the upcoming election. ठीक है. So it's better that party should not be nominated. So the answer is definitely option. Clear to all of you? Please tell me yes or no. Any doubts in any other option choices? Okay, there are 4 questions. The disciplinary committee has decided to suspend Mr. Loyal from the party. Okay, they have decided to suspend Mr. Loyal from the party because they felt he was influencing the judicial process. However, Mr. Loyal feels that the committee is biased and he is being framed. Now, election has been announced. The last time Mr. Loyal has been in the majority on account, he had won with the majority on account of his good work. Which of the following option is most likely to reset an immediate political career? Now, that is very, very important. Immediate political career. So the correct answer, I think, for this question is immediate. Is 28% of you had marked option number 1, which is the correct answer. The main opposition party has invited, since we need to talk about the immediate political career. Okay? So main invited, an election is on the round. So it's better that he has to join the opposition party and contest the election chances of winning is very, very high because of his already good work. So 28% of you have got it right. Third, ask his followers to support the NPP nominated candidate and display his loyalty. But it is talking about the political career. Remember, it is talking about his political career. So what is the benefit in option number C? How does his political career is going to be said? No, because if he's not going to win any election, he will just become a party member. ठीक है ना? He will be simply a party member. So उसका वो career क्या है? There is no career at all. ठीक है? This might be, remember statement number 3. ठीक है? It might be beneficial in the near future, but I need to think for the immediate. Okay. That's why the answer is option number 1. So any doubts to anyone? Can I move to the next question? Of 11 to 30. A very, very interesting set. It says Bright Engineering College has listed 20 elective posts for the next term. Students have to choose any 7 of them. Simran, a student of BC, noticed that there are 3 categories of electives: job, quantitative oriented, and grade oriented. Okay. So there is a job oriented, alright. Then there is a quantitative oriented, and then there is a grade oriented. So I can write down here J, job oriented, quantitative oriented, and grade oriented. And you can see there are 7. So these are the 7 different combinations. 7 areas. Among these 20 electives, some electives are both job and grade oriented but are not quantitative oriented. JD type. So JD, this area only. QZ type, this area only. And then QZ type, this area only. Okay? Simran also noticed that the total number of QZ type elective is 2 less than the QZ type selective. So it is 2. So if I take this value as X, so this will be X plus 2. Any doubts to anyone? Wherein we can have 2 less, so X and this is X plus 2. Similarly, the total number of QZ type elective is 2 less than the GG type. So GG is 2 more than the QZ. So if this is X plus 2, this area is X plus 4. So I can mark this as X plus 4. Okay, X plus 4. Okay, now after that, similarly, the total number of QZ types here, there is only one common elective across 3 categories. So this is 1. There is only one elective of this one. Furthermore, the number of only quantitative oriented elective is same as only job oriented elective. Quantitative oriented elective is same as a job oriented. So this is Y and this is Y. And then this is 7. What is the sum of all these areas? 7 areas. Can anyone tell me? The sum of these 7 areas is how much? That is 20. So you can make an equation and please tell me what is the equation is coming out to be. Can you say this is 3x plus 2y plus z, which is equal to 30. यही आएगा. Add all of them and just see whether you are getting this equation. 3. And remember, x, y, z, none of the values can be 0 because it is given each elective has at least one registration and there is at least one elective in each category or combination of the category. So 3x plus 2y plus z is equal to 13. None of them can be 0. So what are the different possibilities here? Okay, and we also know that the value of y, it has to be always less than z. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is the maximum value of x? Can it be 4? 3 4s are 12? No. So 3 4s are agar 12 lunga, so among y and z, one of them is 0. So the maximum value x can take is 3. जिसकी coefficient larger होती है, we usually start with that we have done in the linear equation. So I'll take x is equal to, let's say x is equal to 3. So 3 3s are 9. Okay, 9. And remember y is less than z. So I can take y as 1. Okay. So 3 3s are 9 plus 2, 11. Z is 2. Okay. Now, any other possibilities? Now, because in that case, अब y की value तो increase होगी, z will keep on decreasing. Yes or no? Y की the यहाँ पे because here. So that is the only combination if x is 3. You all agree with me? Because x is 3, so I'll get basically that 2y plus z. If that is equal to 3 3 is 9, that is 4. So y is 1, z is 2. फिर y की value 2 लोगे तो z की value क्या हो जाएगी? 2 to the 4, z will be 0, which is not possible. Okay, so that's the only case here. Now, next if I take x as 2, take x as 2 and y as 1. Okay, because y less than. So 3 to the 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus क्या आ जाएगा? How much? 8 plus 4 is 12. That is 530. Then remember 2y plus z. When x is equal to 2, 2y plus z is equal to nothing. 13 minus 6, that is 7. So y will increase at a step of 1, z will decrease at a step of 2. So y की next value 2 लूंगा, z will be 3. And further if y is 3, z will become 1, which is not allowed because y has to be less than z. So I think these are the only two possibilities if x is 2. Is that clear to all of you? 3 to the 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 30. Any doubts to anyone? Till this step? Rohit, Nihar, Yashwant, Daksh, Mayank, Atul. Next case, if x is 1. If x is 1, then I'll get 2y plus z, it is equal to 10. So if y is 1, z is 2, z is going to be how much? 8. Okay, so 1, 8. Then I think y की value 1 से और increase होगी 2 and 6. Then 3 and 4. And that's it. So can I say there are a total of 6 possibilities are there? Only 6 possible cases are there. Now after that x can't be equal to 0. So these are the 6 possibilities. So depending upon these 6 possibilities, let's move to the questions. So can I move to the questions now? Okay. Now it says on her way back, Simran met her friend Raj and shared the above. Raj is preparing for that, and he is only interested in grade oriented electives. So he is only interested in grade oriented electives. Okay. So grade-oriented electives, he wanted to know the number of G-type electives being offered. G-type electives. So Simran replied, you have all the information, calculate the number of G-type electives yourself, it would help you in calculation. Okay. Raj calculates correctly and says that there can be possible answers. So let's say G-type elective. So if I'm going for a G-type elective, so you can see G-type elective, add this value. So what is the G-type elective? Can I say x plus x is 2x, 2x plus z plus 5? So G-type elective is nothing but that is equal to 2x plus z plus 5 होगा या क्या होगा? 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Yes or no? 7. So basically you need to find out how many possible values of 2x plus z are there. So from the different combinations I can start putting it. X is x and z. So x and z ka 3, 2, 2, 5 just start putting. X is 3, z is 2. Okay. The other value is x is 2, second case z is 5. So x is 2, z is 5. Okay. So other value is 2 and 3, 1, 8, 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 8, 1, 6 and 1. There are 6 possibilities, but कोई भी option 6 में नहीं है. But एक option 6 भी होना चाहिए. ठीक है ना? So basically 5 ही values होंगी that side. So in that case, if we start putting these values, so you get the possible values are, ठीक है. In the first case, if I put 3 and 2, so 2, 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. Here, 2 2s are 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. 2 2s are 4 plus 8, 12. 12 plus 7. 12 plus 7 क्या आएगा? 2 2s are 4. 2 and 8 नहीं था. That is not 2 and 8. 2 and 3 था ना? Not 2 and 8. That's 2 and 3 was there. Yes. 2 and 3 was not 2 and 3. Okay. So 2 2s are 4 plus 3, 7 plus 7, 14. In this case, 2 plus 8, 10 plus 7, 17. 2 plus 6 is 8, 8 plus 7, 15. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 7 is 13. So how many different values, possible answers are there? So if you count the different possible answers, 15, 16, 14, 17, 15 has been repeated twice. So the correct answer for this question is option number 2. Let me see how many of you have got it right. Okay, now the problem with this set is 76% of you have left this question. But I think we attempt करना चाहिए. A mathematical question and easy. Now it might be possible that a lot of you have not read this set. उन्होंने completely देख के छोड़ दिया. But this is an easy set. Was it difficult? Please tell me. You have got 6 cases just, and just on the basis of this you need to solve all the questions. So only 20% of you have attempted. By this you can also observe the mindset of the people, that people usually have a tendency to leave mathematical questions in decision making. Okay, can I move to the question number 12? Now, question number 12, let's see here. Only 84% of you have left this question. Anyway, so 84% of you have left this question, so let me discuss it here. The correct answer for this question is option number 3, 5. Only 16% of you have got it right. So only 16%. And 84% of you have left this one. 16% of you have got it. Let me discuss. Simran prefers J-type collectives. Okay? J-type collectives and wants to avoid Q-type collectives. So Simran prefers J-type collective and wants to avoid it. She noted that the member of only J-type collective is 3. So only J-type collective is 3. Okay, so let me go back. Only J-type collective. Only J-type collective is Y. Y की value 3. So there is only one case, the last case, yes or no? Only J-type collective is 3, so there is only one case, there is a unique answer you get. So X is 1, Y is 3 and Z is 4. Okay, so I can write down here, I need to choose the combination where X is 1, Y is equal to 3 and Z is equal to 4. So if I need to select this combination, I can just, to clarify all your doubts, draw this Venn diagram. Okay, that is J, Q and T. And I can substitute X is 1, Y is 3, Z is 4. ठीक है, ये सारे वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे, y is 3, so this is 3 and this is 3. This is 1. X यहाँ पे था 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, and get this is 4. यही है डेटा. For this question, I need to use this data, yes or no? Now, it says, okay, Raj preferences G type. So, Simran prefers J and she wants to avoid Q completely. So, Simran is preferring J. So, Simran is preferring J. Okay. So just अब ये देखो, तो Simran has a choice of selecting the courses from here. Simran के पास ये है ना, ठीक है. She wants to prefer J type elective and wants to avoid Q elective. ठीक है. कोई डाउट इसमें? Simran has a choice which I have marked by the green color. Raj preference is G type elective. ठीक है. Raj preference is G type elective. So Raj preference, let me just system is got hand. So Raj preference is G type elective followed by Q type elective. So G type elective. So G type elective followed by Q type. So he has got a lot of choices ना. G type ये रहा मेरे पास, G type हो गया, Q type है. तो G and Q ये उसे नहीं लेना है. ठीक है. ये सारी चीजें वो ले सकता है, G type and Q type. The question is, what is the maximum number of electives that can be common between them without compromising their preference? Can you say these 5 electives which can be common? Remember, both the person has got a choice of selecting 7 electives, but maximum जो दोनों में common हो सकते हैं. J की choice मैंने green के वो किया है highlight. For G, for Raj preference has been highlighted by this color. So the only thing which can be common, maximum which can be common with them is 5. So the answer is 5. Any doubts to anyone? Can I move to the next question? Okay. Now, Vijay and Raj want to avoid each other. Okay. Vijay is interested in J-type electives. All right. So this is J, Q, and G. Raj noted that the only G-type elective, so only G-type elective is 2. So this value is 2, and this value is nothing but that is Z. So it basically means Z is equal to 2. So I can find out in how many of the cases Z is equal to 2. So if I go back and try to find out in how many of the cases Z is 2, there is a unique case, 312. All right, 312. 312. It implies that X is equal to 3 and Y is equal to 1. So here I can put 1 and 1. X is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, and here it is 1. Any doubts to anyone till now? So now the preference of Raj, Vijay and Raj. Vijay preference is that Vijay is interested in J-type electives. Okay, Vijay preference is J-type and want to avoid Q-type electives. So Vijay ka preference here is 1 plus 7 is J-type electives and want to avoid Q-type. Raj preference is G-type elective followed by Q-type elective. So the preference of Raj is G-type elective, this as well as this, followed by Q-type elective, this as well as this. These are G as well as Q. First question is G. Is there a possibility that they would not share any common elective? Now remember one thing, that both of them needs to select how many electives? 7 electives. So yes, there is a possibility. ठीक है ना. अब 7 electives दोनों को select करने हैं. So probably when Vijay is selecting 7 electives, ठीक है, he can select all 7 electives of JD type. Yes or no? And when it comes to the Raj, ठीक है, Raj has to select 7 electives. So Raj can select 2 electives of only D and 5 electives of what? 5 electives of GQ. Okay. So is there any electives which is common between Vijay and Raj? Please tell me. Possibilities है ना? I can select here. So the answer is what? First option. Yes, there is a possibility that they are not sharing the common electives. The answer is yes, there is a possibility. Let me see how many of you got it right. Question number 13. Only 8% of you got it right. Most of you have got this. अब बताओ ये सेट करना चाहिए था, नहीं करना चाहिए था? then I think you all should have tried this. So any doubts to anyone? Mayank, Rohit, Subhashish, Yashwant, Dutch, Akshay? Clear? Can I move to the next set of the questions? Let's move to question number 14. 14 to 16. So 14 to 16. A few years back, Mr. Arvind and Mr. Bose started an oil refinery business. Their annual earning is currently just 50,000 million. They are now exploring various options to improve the business. Okay. Mr. Zinadu, a salesperson from Innovative Technology Solutions, is trying to sell a new refinery, oil refinery. This technology could potentially enhance their earning to 1.5. Okay, 150,000 million. So currently they are earning 50,000 million. Okay. With the help of the new technologies, with the addition of the new technology, the revenue annual earning might go to $150,000 million within a year. Okay, in a year. But they have to make one-time investment. So for this new technologies, there is a fixed cost, and that fixed cost is 100,000 million. So probably first year में शायद कुछ भी profit नहीं होगा, ठीक है? Rupees to implement it. If the technology is not successful, if it is successful, then this. If the technology is not successful, the investment would be lost. Mr. Arvind and Mr. Boring are discussing the possible risks of the investment. Okay. Now, it says Mr. Arvind is enthusiastic about the investment idea, but Mr. Boring is a little skeptical. This impasse makes them approach a consultant. The consultant makes some observations. Which of the following observations made by the consultant might reduce Mr. Arvind's enthusiasm for the new investment idea? So they are trying to invest the money, but the point is, what can be the reason so that they should not try to invest this? Let me see the result. 48% of you have marked option number. Rest of you have marked the rest of the options, and the correct answer is, of course, option number. Okay. Investment is warranted only when benefit outweighs the cost. Okay. Because it says might reduce the enthusiasm for the new business. Okay. Now when we say the second option, technology investment gives higher earning in the future. So technology investment gives higher earnings in the future. So if it is giving a higher earning in the future, okay, so it means it is in favor of Mr. Arvind. So he is enthusiastic about this idea. So अगर future में earning high है, तो ये तो उसके favor में, so that this can't be the answer. Some of you have marked this one, so that's why I told you. Lot of you have marked option number 3 also. Around 12% of you have marked option number 3. Okay. Investment in technology leads to reduction of cost in the long run. So investment of technology leads to reduction of cost. So if the cost is going to get reduced in the long run, so it means in the long run, this investment is beneficial for us. So if it is beneficial for us, so why not I should go and invest the money? So that's why the answer is can't be option number 3. It is again, it is in favor of Arvind. Why? Because technology investment reduces the cost. So if the cost is getting reduced, so it is in favor of Mr. Arvind. Okay, so this can't be the answer. Fourth, technology risk can be controlled. Okay. Risk controlled and risk have to be taken. Both of them are actually again in favor of the Mr. Arvind. Okay. Risk can be controlled if he's saying, so it means he can go for this one. Business is all about taking risky decision. If I'm giving a suggestion that business is all about taking a risky decision, then in that case also you can think for the investment. So that's why the answer is option number 1. Is that clear to all of you? Can I move to the next question? 50. In order to sell the technology to Mr. Arvind and Mr. Bose, Mr. Zinadu is thinking of 5 possible sales pitches. Which of the following sales pitch would reduce uncertainties? The most of this, okay, would reduce uncertainties for Mr. Arvind and Mr. Bose. Let me see. Most of you, majority of you, in fact, 36% of you have marked option number C. Okay. 20% of you have marked this one. I think, in my opinion, The correct answer for this question is, of course, option number C. So 36% of you are right. I need to make a sales pitch such that, you can remember, if you are making a sales pitch to arbitrate boring such that they will purchase this, so what sales pitch you should do? All other competitors are aggressively investing in risky technology. Now, if other competitors are doing something, so it's not necessary that I should also do. I should also invest the money in the other technologies. Not necessary. Okay? Okay, because everyone is doing. Okay. So it might be possible that this is good for them, but it's not necessary that it is good for all. If the technology succeeds, if it succeeds, the annual earning would grow 3 times from the next year financial, and they would be able to recover the invested money if it succeeds. But what's the guarantee that it is succeeded? Okay, agar success hoga na, so that's why answer can't be option number 2. Preliminary studies indicate that the success rate. So if the initial studies have indicated that the success rate of this technology is 85%, yes, then what? If the success rate is 85% in this case, then I can go for that. The R&D team of ITS is working to counter any possible downside of the technology. It means what? Basically, it says that there is a possibility of failure. So that there is a possibility of failure. That's why they are working to counter any possible downside of it. And if there is a possibility of the failure, so in that case, why should this can't be used as a sales pitch? Is that clear now? Okay. And again, it says that R&D, research and development team, is working to counter. Okay. So they are still working to counter the downside. So it means that is a negative. So it might be possible there can be a downside, and this research and development team is not able to counter anything because they are still in the development stage. So that's why the answer can't be option number. So the best answer is option number 5. So very the best. अच्छा, तो क्या होना चाहिए फिर राजेंद्र आंसर तुम्हारे हिसाब से? वो ऑप्शन बताओ, एक दूसरा ऑप्शन बताएं, बनाएं क्या फिर तुम्हारे लिए स्पेशली? फोर्थ वन क्या है यार? ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. इट इज द R&D टीम ऑफ ITS. यू आर डूइंग द सेल्स पिच. मैं एक सेल्स की पिच दे रहा हूँ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, you are going for a counseling, you decided to clear the crack, you wanted to crack the CAT, and you wanted to crack the CAT, you go to the different centers, okay, maybe CL, Time, IMS, and everyone. And everyone is trying to make the sales pitch. Okay, some of the institutes say that our success rate is 85%. Okay, and one of the institutes says, okay, that there is a possible downside of our program, but we are trying to overcome that. So which is the appropriate sales pitch? Please tell me. I need to make a pitch such that, okay, I need to make a sales pitch that they should be able to buy it. But actually, this is a negative statement in the fourth. The R&D team of ITS is working to counter any possible downside of the technology. So, any possible downside of the technology, so still the success rate is not known. Yes, you can say that it is a very supportive thing, but what's the purpose of supporting? What's the guarantee that it will be successful? ठीक है, वेरी सपोर्टिंग थिंग तो इस केस में भी होगा. सपोर्ट की बात तो बाद में आती है ना. Basically, option D indicates that there is a possibility of failure. There is a possibility of failure. So sales pitch. तो सेल्स पिच के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोचो ना, अगर तुम ये स्टेटमेंट दोगे कि अब फेलियर होने की चांसेस है इसमें, बट वी आर वर्किंग इन दैट. Whereas the statement you are saying that, okay, there is 85% success rate is there. So from the sales point of view, of course, option number 3. Whenever any person do a sales pitch, they usually talk about the positive qualities, not the negative qualities. Okay? And yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yes, something is also right. So fourth में अभी भी risk. Now, coming to question number 16. Again, it's a mathematical question. 80% of you have left this question. So let me do it here. The correct answer for this question is, those who have got it right, the correct answer of this question is option number B. Some of you have got it right. 12% of you have got it right. Most of you have got it. Now let's discuss this. I can say years. First year, second year, third year, fourth year, and the fifth year. Okay. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and the year. Then Mr. Arvind and Mr. Gori. Arvind, and there are 2 persons. Okay, I'm just going to write a difference between. So Mr. Arvind and Mr. Gori did not invest in the new technology, but the new technology is a big success. Repentant, they are now estimating the additional amount they would have earned had they invested in the new technology. However, the two owners differed on expected lifespan of the new technology. Mr. Arvind expected. So Mr. Arvind has expected that the lifespan is going to be 5 years, whereas Boring is expected it to be 2 years. After the technology gets outdated, the earning from the business would drop back to 50,000. What would be the difference between the two expected foregone earnings after 5 years of the technology? If yearly earnings are deposited in a bank at 10% compounded. Okay. Now, foregone earnings, remember that. Foregone earnings is equal to earning from business with the new technology minus earning from business without a new technology. So in the first year, earning from the business with the new technology minus earning from the business without new technology. So without the technology, the earning was 50,000. Yes or no? With the new technology, it was 150,000. So 150,000 minus 50,000, what is the difference? That is 100,000. So can you say in the first year, it is nothing but that is equal to basically. In the first year, it is 100,000. The foregone earnings. I'm writing down the foregone earnings. And foregone earnings as pointed to the Boring also 100,000. And what is the difference? 0. Taken a difference is 0 in that case. Is that clear? Okay. Second case. Again 100,000. For Boring also it is 100,000. And what is the difference? That is 0. Arvind again 100,000. And for Boring it is 0 because Boring has expected that the lifespan is going to be only 2 years. So for Boring, the earning from the business with the new technology is still 50,000 because after 2 years of lifespan it will drop down to 50,000. So 50,000 minus 50,000 it is 0. And the difference between these two is nothing but that will comes out to be 100,000. Okay, 100. Okay. And amount at the end of 5 years. At the end of 5 years. So third year में ये है. So for 2 years you will be getting an interest, and how much interest you will get? The difference into, can I say 1.1 raised to power 2? Yes or no? For next 2 years, for the 4th year and 5th year, you will get an interest. Now again for the 4th year, 100,000. Foregone earnings for Arvind, foregone earnings for Boring is 0. The difference between them is again 100,000 and 100,000 into 1.1. You will get an interest for 1 more year. Okay. Next year, at the end of 5 years, the difference will remain 100,000. This will be 100,000. Just you need to add these two. If you add all of them, the answer will become to be option number 2. Clear to everyone? Any doubts? Yes, that's right. Option से भी कर सकते हैं. This 3 years difference, so something between 3 years. वैसे भी easy है. It's not very, we know that 1.1 square is 1.221. क्योंकि just मैंने explanation के लिए यहाँ पे लिखा है 1.221. Sorry, 1.1 and 1.121. That's right. So it's 1331. ठीक है, 13. So any doubts to anyone now? Can I move to the next question? 17 to 20. Let's discuss. It says life-saving pharmaceutical is India-based pharmaceutical company. Their business mostly revolves around a couple of generic drugs and a few patented drugs. LSP operates in 30 old countries and more than 50% of the sales volume is from outside India. More than 50% of the sales volume is from outside India. A very small thing. Now, it says if more than the 17th paragraph. For question number 17, okay, most of you have left this question, 76% of you have left this question. The correct answer for this question is option 4. Only 8% of you have got it. Now let's discuss this. Confusing है थोड़ा सा, but still clear. Now this year. First of all, let's try to understand. Patenting. It says if more than 50% of their sales volume is from the generic drug. So there are two types of the drug, generic and patented. So if I say patented drug, okay, and patented drugs, and then there is a generic drug. It says if more than 50% is from the generic drug. So generic drug. So generic drug is nothing but that is more than 50%. So can I say patented drug is less than 50%? Yes or no? You all agree with me? If generic drug is more than 50%, so patented drug is less than 50%. Now, after that, there are two things that I will be seeing from the India point of view and the foreign. It says more than 50% of the sales volume is from outside India. So in the foreign, the sale is more than 50%. And in India, the sale is less than 50%. Okay. So I can prepare a table like this. Which of the following option is definitely correct? So for example, if I go for the first option, just to give an idea, it says if sales volume of patented drug in India is 43%. Patented drug in India is 43%. So this is 43%. Take a 43. Take a, this is given. And remember, total sales volume is less than 50. So if it is 43, can I say this value should be less than 7? So mark this is less than 7. Okay? Now, this is 43 and this total patented, it has to be less than 50. So if this is 43, this should be also less than 7. So this is also less than 7. 43 plus 7 is 50. Okay. And this has to be more than 50. So if it is less than 7, okay, it is less than 7, so this has to be more than 43. ठीक है ना, और ऐसे इसको इन दोनों का सम मुझे 50 चाहिए फॉरेन मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, so this has to be less greater than 43. Okay, so it says if it is 43, then sales volume of generic drug in India will be sales volume of generic drug in India. Okay, in India will be less than 43%. Will be less than 43%, but that's not the best choice. It is less than 7%. Less than 43 means I can take 41, 42. That is not possible. So that's why the answer can't be option number 1. Clear? It is not possible. Please tell me yes or no. However, if you put the data of this question number, or sorry, option wise, actually I need to check all the options. So option number 4 will fit perfectly. You can see. It says option number 4, if the sales volume of patented drug in India is 29%. Patented drug in India is 29%. So this is 29%. That is. Total has to be less than 15. So this should be less than 29. So this should be also less than 20%. More than 50. So this should be greater than 29%. Just if the sales volume of patented drug, this is given 29%. The sales volume of generic drug in foreign countries, take a foreign countries, generic drug would be above 29%. That's right. So that's right. So a difficult one in the sense that you need to check all the 4 options, 5 options. It's going to be time consuming. Is that clear to all of you? Can I move to the next question? But you could have left 17, but you could have attempted easily 18 and 19. क्योंकि इसमें मैथमेटिकल कुछ है ही नहीं, so simple. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of you have attempted 18 and 19. Mr. Sinha, a senior executive of LSP, observes that their business in India is not vibrant. LSP faces stiff competition from Indian and global players, except in rural areas. Okay? So in the rural areas, they are not facing too much of the competition, except in rural. Interestingly, most of the sales in rural areas are from cough syrups, which is basically used as a sedative by teenagers. Mr. Sinha is planning to follow actions to improve business in the long run. First option. Invest in development of new drugs. Yes, it is suggested. Investment for the development of new drugs. Because from the long-term perspective, investment in the new development of new type of drugs is going to help. Increase sales of cough syrups in the rural market. Okay. Now, statement 2 is nothing but it is unethical. That is unethical. So if it is unethical, so it might be possible it has a short-term benefit is there, but long-term, it might not be benefited. So there is a short-term benefit. It is slightly unethical. So there is a short-term benefit. We can be increased as a sales and a lot of things, but it might be possible in the near future. There is no here. Option number 3, try and cut cost. Yes, if you are trying to cut the cost, it might be possible that in the future you perform even recruit more medical representatives in the area. Recruiting more medical representatives in the rural areas, that can also have a negative effect. Why? Because it might be possible that they are including more and more representatives because they want to sell the cough syrup. There is no development because they are able to sell the cough syrup mostly. So more medical representatives means, yes. So this is a negative statement also. So basically, statement number 2 and 4 is negative, but yes, 1 and 3 is definitely. The question is, which of the following sequence is best arranged in the descending order of appropriateness? Now, that is very, very important in the appropriateness. Okay? Yeah. And the other 2 things which I need to concentrate while answering this question is business in the long run and the appropriateness. So, which should come the first? सबसे पहले क्या आना चाहिए? Now tell me. Appropriate as well as in the long run, future benefit. Now tell me whether one should come in the first 2, 3, and 4. Of course, 1. So the answer is, there is no doubt about that. The correct answer is of course option number, with 60% of you have got it right. Because I need to focus on the appropriateness as well as the technique. So 1, 3, and 2. Yes, 1 and 3 should come in the first, and then among 2 and 2. So answer is 1, 3. Descending order also. So that's the descending order. Any doubts to anyone in question number 18? Can I move to the question number 19? Okay. It says, Mr. Rastogi, 19. A lot of you have attempted. 60% of you have attempted. Let's see how many of you have got it right. 44% of you have marked option number 2, which is the correct answer. So most of you are right. It says, Mr. Rastogi, HR head of LSP, is contemplating of transferring Mr. Jose from India to their Luxembourg office. Mr. Jose's wife is also with the HR department of LSP. The couple is expecting their first child within the next 4 months, and hence they wanted to be together. Okay. Mr. Rastogi is wondering whether Mr. Jose would accept the transfer. If he doesn't, Mr. Rastogi would have to send a less competent person for this job as early as possible. The office in Luxembourg is very important for the company. It is at its nascent stage and does not have any HR department. So it does not have any HR department. So probably there is no requirement of Mr. Joseph's wife here. Hence, it is not possible to transfer Mr. Joseph to Luxembourg. That is already. Which of the following option would be most appropriate from the organization perspective to resolve the issues? ठीक है, आंसर तो ऑप्शन नंबर 2 है. किस किस ऑप्शन में डाउट है? Because what is happening, if you look at giving Mr. Jones options to work from home, why in Luxembourg, so that he can be with Mr. Jones. So दोनों काम हो रहा है ना, both the persons are working here. ठीक है, because he is very competent, so both the persons are working here and he can do the work from the home. So ठीक है. अब like if I talk about option number 1, giving a salary hike to Mr. Jones with the promise to transfer Mrs. Joseph to Luxembourg in the near future. So this is, now remember, the best solution for the organization is that they should try to tackle the issues of the couple. So this is not, it is only a promise, remember, giving us and with a promise. Okay. And increasing the salary is not going to solve the problem directly. So it is, you are actually compromising with the need of the couple. They need to be together because he is expecting the child. So option number 1 can't be that. Is that clear? A lot of you had marked option number 5 also. हाँ, क्यों नहीं कर सकते सुभाष? देख, it is at its nascent stage and does not have any HR department. Since they does not have any HR department, hence it is not possible to transfer. The reason is there is no HR department, that's why it is not possible to transfer. But here it says she can work from home. So she can work from home means what? By sitting here, you can work from home and tackle the issues at the HR department in India. Did you got my point, Subhash? Fine. Asking Mr. Jones to accept the offer right now, but give him up to 6 months. Now remember, up to 6 months, but उसे तो immediate चाहिए ना? ठीक है? Otherwise, he had to send a less competent person for this job as early as possible. He needs to send someone very immediately. So that's why 6 months to join. The 6 months join के चक्कर चलने के चक्कर में there can be a loss. So that's why this option can't be the answer. It is basically you are postponing the problem here. But we need an immediate solution. Any other doubts in any of the option choices? 28th. Mr. Khan used to work as the Vice President of LSP India. However, he had resigned from LSP India for a better job in New York. Okay. In the meantime, his wife was promoted to the head of HR of LSP India. Mrs. Khan had struggled hard to reach this position and was quite popular and respected within the organization. Mrs. Khan was contemplating whether she should give up her career or join him in New York. Mr. Khan is considering the following action. Which of the following sequence of actions can be taken immediately by Mrs. Khan to maintain her work-life balance? Now, work-life, both of them should be balanced here. That is very important. Let me see. Take a break for the time being and focus on the personality. Taking a break or for the time being. So it means you are compromising with the work. Why should she compromise with her work? She needs to sacrifice her career. So one, तो नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक है ना? Work-life balance. One को नहीं लेना चाहिए. Second statement: go to New York on leave without pay for 2 months. Without pay for 2 months. So again, you are sacrificing your job. ठीक है ना? ठीक है. You are sacrificing your career for the sake of husband's career. ठीक है. After that, she can come. तो ये भी ideally नहीं होना चाहिए. Request Mr. Khan to look for an equivalent job in India. Yes, that is perfectly right. Okay, so that both of them work can be also work-life balance can be maintained. Request LSP, fifth one. Request LSP. ये भी include होना चाहिए. This should not be. Resigning from LSP India. So again, you are compromising with your work. So I think in the best and immediate action should be statement number 3 and 5, because in that case, none of them are compromising with their work as well as their life. So the answer should be 3 and 5, which is option number 5. How many of you have got it right? Let me see. Only 12% of you got it right. 16% of you got it right. See? Any doubts to anyone? Can I move to the next question? Last set. 2 months without pay is okay, but again in that case you are compromising. No? Rohit? Why should wife sacrifice her career for the sake of the husband? बताओ. तो ये चाहते हो क्या कि तुम्हारी वाइफ तुम्हारे कैरियर के लिए वो sacrifice करे? In that case, no one is going to marry you in the near future. Believe me. जिंदगी भर कुंवारे रह जाओगे. All right. Let's move to question number 21 to 23. Now it says Mohan's was a popular fast food joint at Kannauj. Okay. Mohan's was a popular fast food joint at Kannauj, Delhi. Initially, Mohan handled his business alone. Okay, so he handled his business alone. His son Ram and Kishan joined the business after graduation from the college. Ram was entrepreneurial in nature. Subsequently, another branch of Mohan was opened in Panipat. Mohan had chosen Ram to head the Panipat plant. Though Ram increased sales in a short time, he had stopped using premium quality organic vegetables. The specialty of Mohan and Kishan were not happy because these two were not happy. Now the foremost challenge for Mohan was to sort out the issue with the Ram. Mohan knew that replacing Ram with Kishan was difficult, as Kishan did not want to leave the Delhi, so Kishan did not want to go there. However, giving a free hand to Ram might have long-term negative consequences. Mohan was confused about the future course of action. Let's help Mohan. Mohan sought the help of 5 consultants who gives the following. Okay. So let's see. The first opinion. Organic vegetables might be a big success at Kannauj, but awareness about organic vegetable is low among Panipat customers. So basically, here option number 1 says that it gives a proper reason not to use the organic vegetables. Yes or no? The first statement gives a reason why organic vegetables is not used. Okay? So it is in favor. It is in favor of no organic vegetables. I'm writing no OV means no organic vegetables. Okay. The of statement number 2. Okay. So statement number 1 is perfect. Statement number 2 says the cannot place model can be implemented in Panipat provided the business is prepared to face the consequences. So basically, statement number 2 indicates that there is a risk involved in implementing the cannot place model there. Yes or no? That there is a risk which is involved if I try to implement the CP model there in the Panipat. Okay. Okay. Third says many high-end restaurants in Panipat use organic vegetables. So using organic vegetables will not be a differentiating factor. So statement 3 says basically that few restaurants are already present there who are using organic vegetables. Okay. But then it is not going to be the USP. Okay. Because a lot of people are already selling the products related to the organic vegetables. So this is not going to be the USP. Fourth, selling price of their dishes in Panipat are significantly lower. Okay. Using organic vegetables will bring down profit. And fifth, इसका result क्या है? Let me see. 21. It's very mixed reaction. 20% of you had said this. 36% of you had said this. The correct answer of this question is option number 3. 1, 3, 4, and 5. It says which of the following set of options would support Ram argument of not using organic vegetables? Okay, that why? What is the reason that Ram is not using organic? So those who had marked 2, उन्होंने भी 2, 4, 5 को include किया ना. But first is also that since the people are not aware about the organic vegetables, so that's why that is the reason that I am not using organic vegetables. So that is basically supporting the Ram's argument. So one को तो include करना चाहिए ना. Okay. So that's why the answer is 1, 3, 4, and 5. These 4 statements. ठीक है? Even 2 can be reason. How even 2 can be reason? Now, remember that statement 2 indicates basically that there is a risk involved in implementing the CP model in Panipat. But if you look at the tone of this, basically, it conveys that businesses willing to take the challenge can do it. That if you're going to table, it can be implemented. So it's a positive. If you are willing to take a challenge, you can implement that. But whether it is supporting in favor that not to use the organic vegetables, no. Okay? It means if you want to implement this model, you can implement that model. It can be implemented. So if it can be implemented, so it means organic vegetables can be used there. So if the organic vegetables can be used there, so वो तो उसे support नहीं कर रहा है ना? Yes sir, got my point now? Now, it says third, Rajendra, that sir, many high-end restaurants are pani. So using organic vegetables will not be differentiating factor. That's right. Okay. So it means you are supporting that that you are giving a proper reason that I'm not using the organic vegetables because here in the Panipat, lot of restaurants are already using that. Okay, a lot of restaurants are already using that. So our product is nothing but completely different from that because we are not using organic material. So that is our USP, unique selling product. अच्छा, किसने कहा organic food is good? अभी यहाँ पे business की बात हो रही है ना. I need to identify the reason. Again, you are making a lot of assumptions, Rajendra, while solving this question. Just because organic food is good, it doesn't mean that I should start selling the organic. Okay. Nowadays, if you go to the market and if you try to buy the vegetables, तुम organic vegetables खरीदते हो या कौन सा vegetable खरीदते हो जो normal होते हैं? Tell me. Have you ever been to the market? देसी खरीदते हो ना? क्यों नहीं खरीदते organic? Organic तो अच्छा है. Okay, so I hope that you have got the point. So it's talking about, I need to identify the reason that why organic is not good for my restaurant. What is the reason? So option number 3, that is good reason. Yes, unavailable mostly, no, but it is available mostly if you go to the Nature's Basket or usually they always keep the organic vegetables. Let's move to question number 22. Yes, that's right. Unavailable also mostly. Question number 22. Mohan sought feedback from a few of his business friends who are familiar with both the brands. If Mohan thinks all these are valid concerns, which of the following action would be the best for his business? Now let's discuss what this businessman is thinking. Businessman. The first businessman says customers of CP and Panipat are different. So basically they are saying that the customers are very different. It means if the customers are different at these two places, so can he say the first businessman is indicating basically that the business at Panipat is different from CP? Yes or no? Can I say that the business at Panipat, since the customers are different, so the business at Panipat are completely different from this? Yes, so this is basically supporting Ram. That's right. It is supporting Ram. Second businessman says that the customers in Panipat are extremely happy with the Ram behavior. It means the identity of that business is with the Ram. Lot of people are happy with the Ram. So the identity of that business is associated with the Ram. Yes or no? Can I say that? Identity of that business is associated with the Ram because people are happy with the Ram behavior, customers. Third statement says Panipat branch does not use the same quality of ingredients but maintains good hygiene and taste. Okay. So it says that basically that the ingredients and Panipat are not same as CP, but the taste is good. So it means what you can say that probably you'll get an idea that from here that both the business have their own advantages. So I need to use the same quality here. Both the business have their own advantage and it should be treated differently. So I need to implement the model of the CP there. So it is also actually supporting that. Businessman 4, who knows, tomorrow the customer of Panipat might also appreciate what cannot please customer appreciate today. So can I say in fact all these statements are favoring Ram? Yes or no? So it says basically, statement number 5 says that it might be possible that in the future, the two business models will be exactly same if they start appreciating. So if Mohan thinks all these are there, training Kisan to replace, ये तो आंसर नहीं होना चाहिए, option number 1 and 5. Why? Because Kisan did not want to go to Panipat. If it does not want to go to Panipat, so option number 1 and 5, right away we can reject that option. Is that clear to all of you? The answer can't be option number 1 and 5. अब बचता है not worrying about ingredients as long as business grows, bringing Ram to Cannot Plus branch. नहीं, again that can't be the option here. Bringing Ram to the Cannot Plus branch, तो जिसको भेजोगे यहाँ पे, ठीक है? Because remember one thing, as far as the businessman too, customers in Panipat are extremely happy with the Ram's behavior. So bringing Ram to the Ram Cannot Plus branch, that's not going to solve this one. The correct answer of this question now tell me whether option number 2 or option number 4. Option number 4. Naming the Panipat branch as Ram, as changing it back to Mohan when needed. Okay? Because businessman 4 says, who knows that tomorrow customer of Panipat might also appreciate what cannot this customer appreciate today. So in the later future, you can change it back to the Mohans if you want to give the same quality and everything. But right now you can change it to the Rams because the people of there are happy. So the best answer is option number 4, which 20% of you have got it right. Okay. You are saying not worrying about ingredients as long as businesses grow. Okay. Now, it means basically you are not worrying about ingredients as long as business grows. So basically you are giving a free hand to Ram in that case. But it might have a long-term consequences in that case. In the long term, it might be possible that this is not appreciated. Abhi to theek hai, but from the long term. So the question is which action would be the best for the business. Whereas 4th says, okay, make the name of the Panipat branch as the Ram because the customers are different. Nahin, kyun vague hai? Now, basically you need, remember one thing. First of all, option D is in fact is the only answer that can satisfy the opinions expressed by all the 4 businessmen. I need to select the options, I need to select the options which basically caters the opinion of all the 4 businessmen. Which all the 4 businessmen. So that's why the answer is option number 4 is basically it can satisfy the opinion expressed by all the 4 businessmen. Whereas the option number 2 it does not satisfy the experience by all the 4 businessmen. Okay ना? तो मुझे ये जो 4 opinion दिए गए हैं क्यों दिए गए? Based on these 4 opinions, I need to decide here. So I need to select such an option which can satisfy the opinion of all the 4 options. So I think that much option number 4 is satisfying the opinion of all the 4 persons in comparison with 2. There can be a long-term consequences in that case. क्यों नहीं करेगा? Because the people are there are very happy with Ram. Because that will be a different brand name Basu. Because you can say, okay, Ram is the product. Rams is a restaurant where we are not using the organic food. Okay, so like for example, people of Delhi CP are comparing with the Panipat, so they should know the difference here, that there is a huge difference between these two. Okay. And also Basu, try to understand, I need to choose the options which is basically going to satisfy the opinion of all the 4 persons. So option number 2 is not satisfying the opinion of all the 4. Okay. And if you look at here, let me go back here. It's all यहाँ पे line है. ये देखो second line. However, giving a free hand to Ram might have a long-term negative consequences. Giving a free hand to Ram might have a long-term negative consequences. So that is the reason. The original passage में given है. That is the reason. Also another reason. Not worrying about ingredients as long as business goes. So it is basically we are giving a free hand to him, but it might have a long-term consequences. So that is another reason also to reject option number 2. Clear now? Yashwant, Vasu, and everyone? Okay, because that is given in the passage, there can be a long-term consequences. So business point of view, say. Now, 23, the last question of this. For question number 23, I can say 36% of you have marked this one. and 20% of you had marked this one. Now, after discussing with a few customers, Mohan realized that compromising on the quality of ingredients at Panipat branch may not be a good idea. But at the same time, he also realized that Panipat branch has grown fast. He was contemplating following five actions. Which of the following actions would be best for the future of his business? Now, remember one thing which is important. They have grown very fast. So it's not like that they are in the loss or anything. But he thinks that it is not a good idea, that he should focus on the organic vegetables. Okay. Which of the following is best for the future? First option is creating awareness. So basically in this question, there are two things which I need to focus. Okay. That is both quality and growth. Okay. Option number 8, creating awareness campaign for the organic vegetables. So in that case, if you try to create awareness campaign for the organic vegetables in the Panipat, so it might be possible that you will face a resistance from the Ram, because Ram is not interested to use the organic vegetables. So in that case, you might face a resistance from the Ram. Okay? So if you want to implement option number 1, that can be. You can implement option number 1 only in the absence of Ram. Yes or no? Yahi hoga na? If you want to implement that, then you need to implement in the absence of Ram, because Ram is completely disagreed with this point. Mohan himself should take after the Panipat branch. Okay. So in that case, the possibility is if the Mohan himself is going to the Panipat branch, so in that case, Ram can come back to the Kishan and Ram and Kishan can handle that branch, or Ram can also do there. Close down the Panipat branch. Send Kishan to the Panipat branch. No, he doesn't. Hire a new person to run the Panipat branch. So the answer should be among 1 and 2. Now tell me, which is the better option among 1 and 2? Of course 2. Okay, if the Mohan himself goes after the Panipat branch, okay, then he can do whatever he wants to do. Okay, because Ram is also there, and both of them are there. Either both of them can handle that problems, or Ram can come to the CP and he can start doing supporting Kishan in that case. So the better option in this case is option number 2. Is that clear to all of you now? Now, please try to calculate your score. All of you calculate your score. I'm just going to tell you the cutoff. Kya cutoff waiting in that particular year. Negative marking 1 by 4. Plus 1 and negative marking is 1 by 4. Okay. So for the BM, the cutoff was 81.06 percentile. For HR, the cutoff was 79.09 percentile. And now you all need to tell me your scores. Then मैं फिर बताऊंगा क्या स्कोर आया. Rohit Chaudhary said 9.25, Vasu 9.75. Okay, what about the others? Akshay 16.25, Suvasis Nishar, yes. Arish तुम्हारे क्या आया? Yashwant Yor 12.25, 14.6. Okay, the score was here 7.5 marks, and here the 7.25. So this was the cutoff. This was the cutoff. Okay. चलो राजेंद्र, थोड़ा सा तुमने इम्प्रूवमेंट किया, कटऑफ के पास से काफी ज्यादा आ गया. दैट्स गुड थिंग. तो ये चीज है. ठीक है. The highest mark was 18.5. 99.99 was at 19.25. So probably at a score of 15, it was 99.94. ठीक है. At a score of 14, it was 99.86 percentile in that year. The score of 14, 99.86. So anyone who has scored more than 14, like you are saying 14.75, so 14.75 was 99.93 to be exact. Okay. So at a score of 14, it was 99.86. ठीक है, at a score of 13, also 99.62. So at a score of 13, it was 99.62. ठीक है, at a score of 12, I can just read key points to the at a score of 12, 99.0. So anyone who has scored more than 12, you can expect more than 99%. This point about difference होगा, ठीक है, like this. So at a score of 12, 99. At a score of 11, I can tell you, so that you'll get an idea. At a score of 11, 97.81. So between 11 to 12, जितके भी थे वो सब 97.81 to 99%. So anyway, I hope that you have got an idea. So any doubts to anyone? Should we end the session now? Yes, last set was definitely confusing. That's right. So can I end the session? So good night to all of you, and we'll be meeting tomorrow. 50% is 98%. 50% means what? That's right. Every year approximately 50% is, yes, that's right. 50% is 90%. So I said do not try to make a guesswork. जिसके आंसर सोर्स ऑफ टीम से छोड़ सकते हो. So good night to all of you. We'll be meeting. We'll be doing 2016.
Music